Hi, welcome back to our third video in creating backgrounds on a canvas. So the first video we did took an old canvas and we repurposed it with decoupaging papers. And then the second video we did painting and blending the paper to the paint and making the paper go in the back of the canvas by adding paint onto it and covering up the sides and adding some blue and pink paint. And then we did some stenciling. So in part 3, we're gonna finish up adding the texture. So the first thing, I have a lot of paint left on my spouncer. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to add a black outline around the canvas. And how I'm going to do that is I'm just going to feather the pouncer on the canvas. So I'm just going to do this. I'm feathering it toward myself. So basically, I'm distressing the edges of my canvas. Okay? And that's all I'm doing. And I'm not reloading my paintbrush. I'm barely touching the canvas. And it's just going to give a nice little distressed, worn look to the canvas. Just like that. So cute. And I'm going to reload, but I'm not reloading in the paint. I'm reloading where I added my spouncer to the paint and then unloaded my brush. I'm loading up the unloaded side. That makes sense. So we're going to add some more paint in here. And that's too much. Gotta unload and just pounce, pounce, pounce. Once you get a motion going, you can just keep on going. Awesome. We're almost done. Just gonna add my paintbrush to my water. Sometimes I get going and I forget, and then my paintbrushes get hard. So put your paintbrushes in water. All right, we're almost done with the edging. And it really, just that little bit around the edges makes huge impact. And that's what we have so far. So pretty. So what I'm gonna do is I'm also gonna blend where I put the letters on. I'm just going to do just very little. I'm hardly putting any pressure. Just around where the letters are, just to kind of help them. So it's not just black letters resting in one place. I mean, there's hardly any paint coming off. It's just giving a shadow. Like that. So pretty. Okay. So make sure you put your spouncer in water. Okay. So our next layer of texture is going to be stamps and ink. And what we're going to do is I have some archival black ink. This is what you need. It's permanent. It will not come off. And it's great. And you just need stamps. Now, today I'm just using a small stamp by Prima, and it's a script stamp, but it's very small, it's very tiny. You can't even read it. It's so tiny you can't read it. But what's great about it is it adds a lot of texture. And what I like about these little ones is that you can bend it. So you can bend it like that, and you can ink and roll up right on your canvas. And we're just going to add it here and there. And I'm going to ink it up in my ink. Let me put it up here so you can see. And then I'm going to blot off on my canvas. Just make sure I got the stamp going in the right direction. And I'm going to move this over a little bit. And I'm going to blot off onto a piece of paper. Because what I want is I don't want the first stamp. I want the second generation. So first generation stamping is taking your stamp into your ink and then stamping onto a piece of paper. That's your first generation. Second generation is stamp to ink, blot off, and then stamp onto your project. It gives a lighter contrast from the first stamp. So that's what we're going to do here is I'm stamping off. You can't see me because I'm stamping off to the side. And sometimes I can do second or third or fourth generation stamping, and it just gets lighter and lighter and lighter. So, and a lot of times that's what I do. I just keep going with the stamping. You probably didn't think we were going to put black on my canvas when we started. It's kind of a fun contrast. Okay, so that's it for the stamping. I'll show you what we have so far. It's really kind of pretty. It's faint but pretty, and the black is really woo, but we're gonna tone that down here in a minute. Okay, so now what I want to add now is modeling paste. Now you probably would have thought I should have added the modeling paste before, but no, not necessarily, because we're gonna add some paint to the modeling paste. And I think I'm gonna use this big polka dot. This is a Heidi Swap stamp, and I think I'm also gonna use I want some gold. Do I want gold? I'm thinking of the color that I want. Let me see. I have some extra paint sitting here beside me. I'm looking for gold right here. I do have gold. Now you think gold is kind of an awkward color to put on here, but it's really not. Look how pretty that's going to stand out. Actually, I don't know if I want to use gold. No, we're going to skip it. This is what happens when you're creating on the go. Sometimes you just look at something and you're like, I'm not sure. Now we can try it out. So we're gonna put, this is already, it's a color already, but I want it a little bit whiter. So we're gonna put it on my palette, on my silicone mat. We're gonna put just a little bit, enough to paint, enough to do this. I don't think we need that a whole lot. And then we'll add some gesso to it to give it more of the white color. Because sometimes when modeling paste dries, it dries like a gray, like a light gray, and we want white. I think we want white, white, white. Okay, now we're going to take the big dots. Actually, we'll take the big dots. And I'm just going to lay that over my canvas just like that. And we're just going to add some here and there. Just very random. So it's going to look just like that. Actually, that's really pretty. So we're going to add some more at the top here. And add some coming down. I'm kind of lining up my circles so that I don't smush them. Okay, and see, I even went right over the letters. So it just adds such a cool technique. Let's see, let's put that there. Okay, and then we'll put a little bit down here. And then that's good. And that's what we have. Just, it's really subtle, but really pretty. Okay, but I think we are going to use the gold, but we're going to use it more as paint. Okay, so I want to clean off my stamp, so I'm going to take and clean this off. Now, I'm going to show you a little trick. I'm taking a piece of scratch paper, because there's still a lot of modeling paste on there. So I'm going to take it and I'm just going to put it on top of this this piece of sheet music. Turn this over, spread that on. I don't like to waste, if we don't have to, waste product. I don't like to waste product. So I'm going to take this, and you definitely want to clean your stencil after you use modeling paste. So now when this dries, I can use it in a junk journal or on another canvas or whatnot. So I'm just going to quickly wipe this off because I don't have time to run over to my sink and clean it. But we will definitely clean it here in a few minutes. Just trying to get the bulk off of it. Okay, put that up there to dry. Okay, so now that's got to dry, but while that dries, I think we are going to add some of the gold because I think it'll make a cute pop. I'm going to add it, and we're going to add it into this stencil, which is a Tim Holtz stencil, and it's quite tiny. So I think little touches of this is going to be gorgeous. So, and this is going to take a little bit to dry. So, and this paint that I'm using is by the Crafter's Workshop Heavy Body Acrylic Paint, and this is iridescent gold. So I'm just going to put a tiniest little squirt on my craft mat because it's not going to take much. And I'm going to get a smaller craft knife. Get a smaller one. Now this is kind of wet, so I have to be careful where I put my stencil. So I think I want some here at the top. So I'm just going to find where I want to add. This is the stencil that we're using. So I'm just trying to look to see what I want. I kind of want the faintest dots. I'm going to pick up some of this. It's heavy duty, so it's really thick. And we're just going to spray that on. Oh, it makes the cutest little dots ever. Okay. Let's see. Maybe a little bit bigger dots would be good here. Let's see. Just carefully lay it down. Don't smush your paint. Oh yeah, it adds such a different feel. It adds a different feel. This is very mixed media canvas. And it's going to be really cute. And I think it'll be really cute with a bunny on it. So I had to get more paint. So we're going to add some right here. I'm laying down my stencil, but I'm being really gentle with it. So it doesn't, and well, see, it picked up some of the white paint on that one, but it just adds more texture. Okay. Let's add, I guess I'm going to need some more paint. It's easier to get more paint than to put it back. You know, it's kind of hard to put paint back in a tube. So I'd rather get a little bit and then have to put and get more. So that's what we have so far. Look at that. That was gold. Now the gold really pops, but it's okay. Because once we add all the layers in it, and I think my bunny rabbit the bunny rabbit that I'm going to use is this bunny rabbit. We're going to cut him out of a different material, and he's going to go right here. So this area right here, I don't really need to be putting a lot of product. So kind of work out the placement in your head. Okay, I think that's good. I think we are done. Need some more paint here. Whoops. Put some. All right. Actually, I think I need just a tad bit more. Just a tad. Now this is really nice thick paint, and that's what's awesome. All right, and I have a little bit left on my paintbrush, or my thing, so I'm just going to rub some around the edges. Just taking the excess off my stencil, picking it up, and rubbing it around the edges. All right, I think I'm gonna put just a little bit more on my craft knife. And just go around the edges a little bit. It's so cute. It just adds such a great vibe. Okay, I think that's it for that. And this is what we have for stenciling. So cute. Okay, so this has got to dry. So let's dry it. Let's see. It's still a little moist. Yeah, so. All right, so here it is. This is adding the stamping and the stenciling, the stamping, and modeling paste and paint, some more paint. So the next time we come back, we will finish our canvas. We will put the bunny rabbit. We have to let this dry. We need to, then we'll stain it, and like make it look vintage, and then add our bunny rabbit. And then we'll be all done. So stay tuned for the last video. Thanks for joining me.